Jonathan Turley posted a column this weekend, entitled "The Corruption of Attorney General Merrick Garland." In it, Turley admits he enthusiastically supported Garland's confirmation, but came to realize he was simply another partisan political hack. Turley said Garland, as Attorney General, continues to show great reluctance to take any action that involves the president. He noted Garland allowed Special Counsel Jack Smith to maintain positions that seem diametrically at odds with past Justice Department policy. This includes Smith's statement that he will try Trump even through the next election. Perhaps Garland's brashest political act is supporting Joe Biden's executive privilege claim to withhold the audio of her Biden interviews. Even CNN host Jake Tapper questioned that.
But there's really no basis for the Justice Department to not give the audio recordings to Congress either.
Well, first of all, there is, and I do believe.
Professor Turley has long been a critic of Garland's failure to order a special counsel to investigate the Biden family influence business with foreign companies and governments. So let's talk with the co-host of John Solomon Reports and the host of podcasts Furthermore, Amanda Head. Welcome back to Victory News.
Thank you so much for having me. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday to you. I want to get your reaction to Jonathan Turley's take on Attorney General Merrick Garland and him driving two-tier justice with the Bidens versus Donald Trump and his supporters.
Yeah, well, I'm glad that Jonathan Turley is finally starting to realize what's up with Merrick Garland, because I remember not that long ago when Merrick Garland was being considered for the Supreme Court, and a lot of us were raising red flags about his past and what he seemed to be advocating for if President Obama had appointed him. Merrick Garland seems to be extremely keen on doing anything, pursuing anything that can help Joe Biden, and extremely for going after any case and any type of charge that can affect Donald Trump. It has been disheartening to see with respect to the Robert Hur testimony or Joe Biden's testimony with Robert Hur. They've used the excuse that they're concerned that conservatives will take it and turn it into a deep fake and edit the audio, which is patently absurd. They have been accused by Jerry Nadler of doing this, and they talked about this in a congressional hearing that actually is not what happened. And it's Orwellian to claim that did. I think that conservatives just want the American people to be able to hear Joe Biden speak for himself, whether he remembered certain things, important dates like his son's death, important dates like when he was actually in office. It's important for the American people to see why Barack Obama had to pull Joe Biden off stage this weekend. This all speaks to the big concern that Americans have, which is Joe Biden capable of leading the country? And I think resoundingly every day we see instances that tell us why he's not.
So here we are in election. Donald Trump goes to Detroit, Michigan, a Democrat stronghold, spoke to several thousand, as well as in a roundtable discussion at a predominantly black church. How was he received, and what were the main issues that he tried to tackle there?
Yeah, I think that the first instance of this trail of President Trump going to urban areas was in West Harlem, and that was the first indication we had that minority communities were going to be quite receptive to the president, and then to Bronx, and now here. You saw those black leaders, you saw the reception that he got from those people, and you look at the audience. This is not your typical whitewash of middle America. These are people who live and work in Detroit, people who have been affected by the immigration policies or lack thereof of this administration, people who are being devastated by the Biden economy. These are folks who are, to throw it back to President Trump and something he said on the campaign trail in 2016, what have you got to lose?
Okay, so to contrast that, Biden spent the weekend at a Hollywood fundraiser while his campaign launched a $50 million ad blitz that goes through June against Donald Trump. Here's a clip.
This election is between a convicted criminal who's only out for himself and a president who's fighting for your family.
I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
All right, convicted criminal. I think we're going to hear that a lot more. When you compare that to the economy, the border, crime, is that going to work? Is it going to resonate, Amanda?
50 million. That's cute. That's all the juice you could squeeze from the Hollywood lemon. Come on now. Donald Trump raised $200 million in the 36 hours following his conviction in New York. They can run these ads as much as they want. I don't think that it's a net positive for them, because I think the people who already are clinging to the notion that Donald Trump is a convicted felon, they're already voting for Joe Biden, and the people who are not swayed by it, they're in the same boat. that's fine to call him a convicted felon. There are plenty of unconvicted felons in public office, including possibly in the White House. So again, I don't think this really moves the needle for anyone. If you are already hating on Donald Trump and looking for a reason to not vote for him, this didn't do anything.
All right, Terrell Patel is a Democrat candidate for commissioner in Fort Bend County, Texas. He's a former Biden appointee. He was arrested and charged for faking his own racist hate mail. He allegedly created fake accounts and would leave racist comments on his own post. Are you surprised someone would fake racism to gain office?
Oh, man. Yeah. America is so racist that folks like this guy and Jussie Smollett have to make up racism in America, and in Texas, no less. It's unfortunate. I am so glad that he's found out. The unfortunate thing is that I think this happens more often than we realize, and it's not found out. But thank goodness this is getting blasted. And props to Victory News for talking about this story. Yeah, well, it's in our backyard, and we need to let people know what's actually happening out there. Amanda, thanks so much. Back to you in just a moment. Mike?
Greg, SpaceX founder Elon Musk over the weekend called for the elimination of electronic voting machines on Saturday in response to a Robert F. Kennedy Jr. social media post about irregularities in a recent Puerto Rico election. Musk posted this: "We should eliminate electronic voting machines. The risk of being hacked by humans or AI, while small, is still too high." Kennedy's post from Friday said this: Puerto Rico's primary elections just experienced hundreds of voting irregularities related to electronic voting machines, according to the Associated Press. Luckily, there was a paper trail, so the problem was identified and vote tallies corrected. What happens in jurisdictions where there is no paper trail? According to the Associated Press, Puerto Rican election officials say the problem was caused by a software issue on machines provided by Dominion voting systems.